elections, perhaps the one major vote bank that's common to all parties is the young voter. And so this week agenda, and it's of course the final week of the Delhi election campaign. Saturday, of course, is the big voting day. This week we'll come to you from the campus, and what we're going to try and do is get a candidate to come in here in the midst of their hectic campaigning, to come in and take questions from the audience itself. So we are coming to you from the Lady Irwin College here of the New Delhi constituency. Now it is a key constituency because that's where Arvind Kejriwal is fighting for, and he's making his pitch to come back as Chief Minister. On that side, you'll see a lot of the girls who are supporters of the BJP campaign. They're all sitting that side. They've got tough questions for Saurabh Bhardwaj over here. Saurabh Bhardwaj sitting in, of course, for his party leader Arvind Kejriwal. We also have to give us the overall perspective and to bring in a kind of neutral point of view. We have Verghese George. He's the political editor of The Hindu, and he's been writing and following this election campaign very closely. And this side, either we have some people who are supporters of Arvind Kejriwal, or those who are undecided yet. Some, of course, are there any supporters of the Congress campaign for now? No. Okay, so we're going to have both sides. They are very clearly divided. We're going to take questions from them just a bit. But first, this is what we're going to focus on today. These ads that have been coming, given by the BJP, they've become the big political story today. And look at the reactions that they are eliciting.
Political statement and a matter of fact, which was used metaphorically, which was used to denote the political party's ideology, which is one of anarchy, which is one of obstructionism, which is one of anti-national activities demonstrated by their actions in the last year and a half.
जब भी मेरे ऊपर टारगेट करते हैं या मेरे परिवार पे टारगेट करते हैं, मैं कभी रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं करता. आज उन्होंने क्या लिखा कि इसका उपद्रवी गोत्र है, मतलब गोत्र मेरा बंसल है. आई बिलोंग टू अग्रवाल समाज. तो इसका मतलब मेरे से आपको तकलीफ हो सकती है, अरविंद से आपको तकलीफ हो सकती है, अरविंद से आपकी लड़ाई है, पूरा अग्रवाल समाज खराब हो गया. अग्रवाल समाज इस देश की इकोनॉमी की रीढ़ की हड्डी है. दे आर द मोस्ट पीस लविंग पीपल. दे हैव अ फियर ऑफ लॉ, मतलब वो कानून मानने वाले लोग हैं.
So the big talking point really has become these ads. Is AAP being too sensitive when it raises an objection? After all, Gotra isn't really in the big print, it's only in the fine print over here. And Arvind Kejriwal has made it about the whole Agarwal caste people and people of that community taking offense. Are they being too sensitive, or is it a legitimate thing? Do you all think he's being too sensitive, or is it a legitimate point to complain about?
He's not being sensitive. I don't think so. I guess BJP has been known about such things. He has been making such weird statements, like some people are saying that you should give birth to 4 Hindu childs. Some are saying these things. So I guess BJP has been telling us how politics can be dirty. So I guess AAP should be used to it.
They should be used. Is there anyone who thinks that they are complaining too much, that AAP should just fight and they shouldn't complain about this? This is fair in a campaign? No, everyone thinks that this is quite below the belt. So Saurabh, this tackling that you're doing, we've seen a lot of you also in your ad campaigns. You've also made fun of Kiran Bedi. She went to the EC about that. When you put those ads in the auto, so why are you complaining about this?
I think first thing, like we should in an election campaign, we should be quite away from things like religion, caste, creed, and all those things. And whenever we spoke about Kiran Bedi, we are just calling her Afsarwadi. That means opportunist. So that is not something which is unnatural. It is very natural for someone to call Kiran Bedi opportunist with respect to her coming into BJP. But the way BJP is dealing with the election campaign, I don't think it will be taken, in a good way by Delhiites. People in Delhi are very intelligent. They know what to expect from a political party. Basically, they want to know how BJP will tackle the corruption of MCD. How BJP will provide safety to women. What agenda does BJP have for youth, for old age? And people are not interested in all this mudslinging and all those things. Let's talk about positive things you want to offer for Delhi.
Okay, just to tell our viewers, we wanted the New Delhi candidate, and she had promised to be here, which is why we're Lady Irwin College. That's her college as well. But Nupur Sharma, this is what election elections are about. Last minute, you know, and we appreciate the fact as being a candidate you've taken time out. But just to get back to this, Verghese George, we've seen campaigns, political campaigns get pretty tricky and get sometimes dirty. I mean, it's not ideal, but we've seen that happening. By doing this, the first one about the child and, you know, going back on his word, which Arvind has said is using children, which is unfair, and then using the Agarwal Goth. Is that really, really dirty politics? Is that too much, crossing the line?
Well, I think it is. I would say it is very unusual because a lot of controversies that which have been generated in election campaigns, particularly related to allegations and very derogatory remark about other people, they have come in while talking. Mm-hmm. Here the difference is that it is come in a print ad, so somebody must have thought about it, thought through it, and written it, and then printed it. So that is where it comes from. Now, what the BJP meant by it, now the BJP is explaining it, now the devil is not here, so I should rather be the devil's advocate. Yeah. Now, the BJP has explained that, okay, this is what we meant, that he belongs to a gotra of anarchists.
It's a metaphor. They're saying
it's a metaphor. It could very well be. But then we cannot expect Arvind Kejriwal to be appreciative of BJP's metaphorical print ads.
Yes.
I would actually recall and invite your attention to a slip of tongue, I would not say, a very legitimate statement, I would say, that Priyanka Gandhi made during the Lok Sabha election campaign. She said, this is niche Rajniti. She said it's lovely politics.
Yeah.
But Narendra Modi, the campaigner that he is, he gave it a very, very interesting spin.
Yeah.
And he said she is referring to my lower caste origins. And this entire UP campaign.
That worked for him?
That worked tremendously well for him in UP
Okay.
elections. And he made a campaign issue out of she referring to niche Rajniti, where she did not refer to his caste at all. There was a context in which she mentioned that thing. And it was not in the least about Modi's caste.
That's a very interesting analogy, Verghese. And I want to ask all these women over here, all of you were looking towards the BJP campaign. You were supporting it. When you see him bringing up this Agarwal Gotra, or talking about Gotra, they didn't mean to bring up, that's how Arvind Kejriwal has spun it. Do you like it? What's your reaction to it? Even as BJP supporters? Tell me, yeah.
I think it's okay because all the parties are doing it the same way. Like AAM did it for for Kiran Bedi. They said she's a Avsarwadi, opportunist.
Yeah.
So the same BJP has done. So I guess it's somewhat like balanced thing.
It is balanced.
But it is not right actually.
Okay.
You cannot just comment on anyone like that.
Yeah. Does everyone
Both the
agree with
parties are
her? Someone
competing,
disagrees?
Compete in a healthy way.
But then again, that's a part and parcel of politics. You know, everyone is putting the spot on the one who is against you, right? So I think it's just a part and parcel.
Saurabh, part and parcel of politics?
It's a part and parcel of politics, but you know, had it been some other part of India, people would have accepted it. But Delhi people are very different from, you know, other states and other cities, and they don't take it so lightly. Most of them, you know, understand politics. Most of them, you know, try and always want that positive should be, you know, bit positive. You should not be always mudslinging. And BJP had been doing
when you say Delhi is, sorry, I'll interrupt you here. I want to bring you to another analogy. You gave the Priyanka Gandhi one. Do you think BJP itself actually suffered from this in 2004 when they attacked Sonia Gandhi personally? Would it be along similar lines? And that didn't work for them?
It did not obviously work for them. That is why the Congress came to power. I would not actually go that far, but I would go back. I would actually talk a sentence more about the standards of our political debate.
Yeah.
That is where I think in the recent months or recent years, there is a very, very unfortunate and very, very unwelcome lowering of standards. There I think Mr. Bharadwaj's party also has a bit of explanation to do. For example, during the peak of their agitation, they published a list of people saying these are the people who are corrupt.
That's right.
Now, if I am named from Ramlila Maidan that Verghese George is the most corrupt person in Delhi, how do I go and defend myself? I don't have the wherewithal to publish an ad, or I mean, you will not come and take my interview as you are doing with Kejriwal today to defend himself. So his party, he's actually has to take a bit of blame for lowering the standards of Indian political debate to this level.
Quick reaction to that, Saurabh.
You know, we started with a very unconventional way of doing politics, and what we were against was that politics of doing setting, you know.
Okay.
Congress doesn't want to talk about BJP, BJP doesn't want to talk about
Yeah.
Congress. And we were the ones who were talking about corrupt politicians in both the parties. So it
Yeah.
was our different USP, and we stood for it.
Also, again, wanted to throw it back to these women over here. Co-constituency for Kiran Bedi, because, you know, I think even our people also conceded that her biggest advantage is that she's a woman, and women, right, Verghese, are seen as clean leaders. So, which is their USP, our USP, Kiran Bedi is kind of taken. So, as women, when you hear these things being thrown at Kiran Bedi, that people are quitting because of her, does it take away some of your sympathy and some of your support? No. Why is that? Tell me. Yeah.
Yes, Kiran Bedi has more than 30 years of administrative experience, and she is the woman, like people call her Crane Bedi. She has that guts, she has the determination that she can give a ticket, a challan to the Prime Minister of the country.
Yeah.
So Kiran Bedi, I mean, you know, throwing such remarks on her doesn't, you know, refrain us from, you know, not supporting Kiran Bedi.
She lost the very moment she joined BJP.
Why is that?
Because if she wanted to be in politics only, then why didn't she join up? And why is she joining BJP now? Not just because of the fact that she wants to be CM, like the PM, whatever.
You know, I think this has become the kind of microcosm of the entire thing. So, Verghese, I wanted to ask you, is some of it, looking at it as you followed politics for quite some time now, looking at this kind of battle and the kind of rift within the BJP that started, do you think some of it is sexist? That as a woman she's strong, and so people are just saying that, look, how can she be so aggressive? And that perhaps the rebellion within the BJP also has an element of sexism in it.
Well, I mean, there is an element of sexism in all our public engagements and discourses, so to speak. I mean, things that we write, we speak, that is quite there. But that does not, we cannot stretch that logic to the level where we argue that because somebody is a woman, she is beyond scrutiny or she's beyond questions. We have had women leaders, for example, Rabdi Devi was woman chief minister. Lalu Prasad used to say that she is the first woman chief minister of Bihar. Why are you gunning a woman CM? So these arguments have very limited value. I mean, we can't make a case for a sexist approach to politics and for any element of our public life for that matter. But I think that will be very limiting and restrictive of our right to question whoever.
Yes, impediment. Is her personal style an impediment?
I think yes.
It is an impediment. Yes. Do you think that her personal style is putting off some of you?
There I would say it's like her personal style is as much an impediment for BJP as Rahul Gandhi's is for Congress to ensure that it is not a sexist comment. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we're going to take a short break now. When we come back, we're going to get in more questions, especially about the fact that, remember, we still haven't seen a manifesto or a vision document that the BJP is talking about. Coming so late in the day, how much will it impact the women and the voters at large? Coming up in just a bit.